So the question on everybody's mind right now, at least if you are thinking about buying a house, is where are mortgage rates headed? A lot of the big news over the past couple of weeks is that mortgage rates are headed down. But then today we had the producer price index come out and it was a little bit hot, which is now making a case that maybe we won't see a federal funds rate cut in November, right? And so if we look into this article, what's really interesting about it is that it points to this paragraph here where they're saying right here, yet in the past fiscal year, Washington has borrowed 1.8 trillion dollars, which is true. But what they're saying is that this massive increase in the federal debt is due to the Trump presidency, and that's inherently not true. Here is an article from CNN where Janet Yellen, who was the Treasury Secretary during the time that the third stimulus package was issued, said at the time that there was no concern for inflation. This is negligence. If you were in control of the level of financial markets that she was at the time, she did not have any fears that inflation would go up. And then a year later, after issuing the third stimulus package, which was arguably not necessary in the first place, right? Because if you look back to 2008 and how Bernanke shored up the economy with these quantitative easements, which is no different than what they're doing here in terms of doing a stimulus pay. You're printing money. That is what quantitative easing is, right? Another thing that Yellen did during this time period that would have been really great because the rest of us were all refinancing our own homes is she should have refinanced the federal debt at the time under the federal funds rate, which, yes, it is a short-term rate, but if she had refinanced it at a lower rate during that time period, she would have set the economy up for a far better soft landing than what we're dealing with right now with all this up and down. So I think it's really important to take a look at all the information that is out there and not just take the sound bites that are saying that under X, Y, and Z presidency, one thing will be better than the other. The reality is it's going to take about a year for either presidency to have an effect on the economy. So in the short term, right now, what we're dealing with is the issues from the Biden administration issuing that third stimulus package, which is really the aggravating issue with creating inflation, and is now causing the Fed headache to deal with bringing down that inflation, right? Because they really only have four broad strokes to control this. And so, if you really want to dig into the numbers further, what we need to look at and have an honest conversation about is homeowners insurance and car insurance, because that is actually the other driving factor. The homeowners insurance is what is driving up the shelter costs inside the inflation numbers, and then on the aggregate, the payments for cars is going up because auto insurance is going up, and this is these issues with insurance are such an isolated event that adjusting the federal funds rate will not arguably have an effect on inflation. And we're just going to be in this round robin over and over and over again. So we need to start having these honest conversations and in a compassionate way where we can bring both sides together and actually come to a common ground solution. So I encourage you guys to read more about this issue and specifically the homeowners insurance issue and the car insurance issue, and seeing how it is an isolated event. And the more that we all know together, the hopefully we can come together and solve this problem. Have a great day.